Hello, this is the Tradesight Forex Stocks and Futures Market Preview and General Global Economic Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday the 20th of December 2020, ending Friday the 25th, which as we know is Christmas Day. All markets, including Forex, are closed on Christmas. Stocks and futures are half day on Thursday, so nobody really shows up for that either for Christmas Eve. So it's a 3-day week for the most part. And we will see what we get. Let's talk about all the major markets, though. Dollar index first. New lows this week. Made a little bit of move. We had a couple winners. The 2 nights we didn't list trades because the levels were too bunched and nothing really happened anyways. So it's an okay week for what we got out of Forex, with a nice winner to close out the week in the pound. We look at the euro-dollar chart. Obviously the inverse of the dollar index typically, and it hit new highs. Pound dollar also hit new highs and then came back a little bit on Friday. Aussie dollar, again, new highs. Euro, yen, nice cup and handle. That 127 level is a breakout if you're looking for something to do next week. If it goes over 127, the pound yen, nothing there. Pound Swiss, also pretty unexciting. All right, let's look at the intra-week action. So we're looking at 30-minute candles. We got a gap up, which is unusual for Forex last Sunday at the open, and so range for the week was about 300 pips, which is okay, better than a lot of weeks we've seen. So that's why we end up with a decent amount of winners. Meanwhile, the euro dollar, 160 pips of range, so there's not much there. A little more than a couple of the last recent weeks, but not much. And most of it, by the way, the high to low was on Thursday, right after the Fed announcement on Wednesday. So is what it is. All right, now let's move on to stocks and futures. U.S. This is the ES front month futures contract. Daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Closing out basically at all-time highs here for the week, or for the whatever, for all time. Crude oil up 72 cents on Friday to 49.08, also on the rise. Gold down $3.60. S&P cash loses 13.07. NASDAQ 100 down 13.87. The SOX down 13.40. These are all pretty small numbers on Friday. Biotech's up 19, again a small number. Russell 2000 was down 8. It was actually at the highs of the day earlier. It was the one strong sector, and then it came back. Remember, we had a lot of reshuffling of the S&P in addition to triple expiration Friday. So there's internal things going on that aren't typical of trading. VIX down 36 cents to 21.57. The trend closes at 1.54. That puts the 10-day moving average all the way up at 1.24. NASDAQ volume, 7 billion shares. Again, you'd expect that for triple expiration. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ was negative 297, so more stocks were down than up. Negative 406 on the New York, so again, more stocks down than up. Google loses $14.29, the low of the last 2 months. Apple down $2.04. Netflix gains $1.55. Amazon down 34 and change. Looks like a blip on Amazon, 1%. Tesla up 39.10 as it gets added to the S&P. Facebook, and look at that volume, by the way. Facebook 1.92, up $1.92. Zoom up $4.39, still holding that red static trend line. Goldman Sachs, we made a little money on the short side, down $2.30. We made a little money on the upside, by the way, of Peloton, PTON, which had a very nice, look how nice this daily chart pattern is. Broke out. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down 47 cents. And the Dow was down 120. If we look at the intra-week action, so let's go to 10-minute candles on the ES for the week. And you can see Monday the gap up, and then tried to go higher, came back, closed negative, filled the gap, and went further down. Then on Tuesday, another gap up. This one doesn't quite fill. It tried, and then curled back up, and now we're back to the highs of the Monday for the close on Tuesday. Wednesday, basically a flat opening and a flat day until the Fed. Then there's a little pop, and that was it. Remember, there was a Fed announcement. So 2 days there with the Fed. Thursday, we gap up dead flat. One of the flattest days we've seen in a long time. Had us concerned about not getting a triple expiration unravel. And then Friday, the gap up and head down. And we got volume and some movement and some stuff. So made money in the futures, made money in stocks. It was a good closeout to the week. So that is what we saw this week in stocks, futures, and Forex. All right. In terms of economic data coming out in the short week ahead, New Zealand's credit card spending Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. These are all Eastern Time. UK CBI realized sales at 6 a.m. Monday. No data in the U.S. on Monday. Canada's got their NHPI number at 8:30. Consumer confidence out of Europe at 10. Retail sales out of Australia at 7:30. Tuesday, German GfK consumer climate. Then the UK's current account and final GDP. Public sector net borrowing, revised business sentiment, or business investment, sorry. 8:30 final GDP here in the U.S. That should be a nothing burger. China CB leading index at 9. CB consumer confidence here in the U.S. at 10, along with existing home sales and Richmond manufacturing index. 6:50 Japan's monetary policy meeting minutes. We got the Bank of Japan's core CPI at midnight on Wednesday. German import-export price, or import prices. Canada's GDP. U.S. core durable goods and PCE price index. Personal income and spending, and the weekly initial and continuing the initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. That's a day early because of the holiday on Wednesday at 8:30. We've got the Swiss National Bank quarterly bulletin at 9. U.S. new home sales and revised University of Michigan sentiment at 10. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. Natty gas at 12. Japan's SPPI, and then on Thursday again, half day here for stock market. Most of the rest of the world goes on break anyway. Building permits out of Canada, no data here in the U.S. Japan keeps going that night with their CPI unemployment rate and retail sales, and then you get into the Christmas Day holiday. So again, here's how it usually works with this particular layout. Friday being Christmas Day, we're closed. Thursday being the half day for Christmas Eve. So it's usually Monday and Tuesday are your best chance of something going on. Wednesday, people typically start to leave. Thursday and Friday, it's over. And then the following week, by the way, we have 4 full days because Thursday is New Year's Eve, but the last day of the year cannot be a half day. That doesn't mean anything, though. Don't fool yourself. It's usually the lightest volume week of the year, and there's not much going on. So honestly, while we'll still be around Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of that week, whatever we get done this Monday and Tuesday is probably the last easy money of the year. And then the nice thing is this year, you got the Thursday, the 31st is New Year's Eve. New Year's Day is on a Friday, so you don't have to worry about having like one day between New Year's and the weekend or anything like that. So we come back on the 4th of January, firing and ready to go, and everybody's tax implications are done. And the stocks that held up because of that, nobody wanted to sell certain stocks right late in the year if they're up for the year. That all shakes loose come the 4th, and we don't 4th of January, first real trading day of the year. So we're excited about that. Looking forward to some good stuff in January. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week, great weekend, and a great Christmas if we don't see you all week.